Hey everybody, Sick here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. Today I ran out to Target, picked myself up 2 new titles, and here they are. The first title I picked up for only $5 on DVD was a complete first season of Ancient Aliens. This is one of those shows that I do enjoy watching. As I said many a times, I pretty much enjoy anything that's on the History Channel, anything that has that H on it, I will buy. But I have mixed feelings about this show. The reason being is because, do I believe in, other life forms? Yes, I think it's pretty naive to think that we are the only life form, possibly the only intelligent life form in the entire universe. There's got to be something else out there. I mean, it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty naive to think we're the only ones. But do I think that aliens have ever come to Earth? That's where, I'm not so sure about that. Do I have any proof they haven't been here? No, I can't say, I can't say it's a fact that they haven't been here. Maybe they have. But I sort of lean towards the probably not. I have a hard time believing that aliens have been here. I think they would have left maybe a little bit more proof possibly, but hey, who knows? So when I watch this show, some of the things they say, some of the, facts they give you, it's like, oh, that's a pretty good fact, and it really supports your theory. But then some other people talk on here, and the stuff they say, they point to like something really weird, like that's because an alien was here. And you're like, how do you get that from a scratch in a tree or something? Something stupid like that. It's like the dumbest thing. There's like a scratch in a rock. And you're like, well, that was from an alien. It's like, why? I don't get that. And there's things like, for instance, they show the pyramids on the front. They always say like, oh, well, how could these civilizations have built the pyramids, and how could the Mayans have built those huge temples and whatnot? I think that's kind of... It's very prejudiced, I think, to say that about these civilizations. The fact that you look at these big monuments and to say, oh, well, they couldn't have designed them. The only way they could have built them was with the help of aliens. It's like, why? Why do you think these people didn't have the technology? Why do you think they could not have done that? There might have been people back then. Just like there's artists now, there were artists back then who could design these things and knew how to do it. I personally feel that that's how it was. And as far as, why didn't everybody, write down how they make these? I kind of go, why would they? Why would they write down how they made the pyramids or how they made these big temples? Why would they do that? What reason could they have for wanting to write down the instructions on how they built this thing? You know how to do it or you don't. There's really no, I don't think you'd really need, to have detailed instructions about this. And then they show things like, on the walls, there's like things that look like aliens and whatnot. It's, if there were aliens that come down to Earth, I think they would have documented that. You know what I mean? I don't really think they're going to necessarily document how they built a temple, but I think they would do some pretty, in-depth documenting of aliens coming, what they'd probably assume was some kind of god coming down from the heavens. I think there'd be huge accounts of that, really detailed. Whereas, instead of them going, well, what this kind of looks like is an alien, that kind of looks like a spaceship, it could be, what else would that be? It could be anything. I think, you would have to have some really strong, detailed, if I saw, like hieroglyphics, and they were like all just this big, detailed account of, like an alien or something like that, maybe then I go, wow, okay, that's pretty good proof right there. Maybe they have been here. But the fact that they just tend to point out things and go, well, this could be this could be interpreted as that, could. I go, well, it could also not be. So I have a hard time believing that aliens necessarily come here. Like I said, I think it's pretty prejudiced to say that these civilizations from, thousands, millions of years ago, however long ago it was, that they couldn't have built these things. I think they probably had the technology. They probably could have done it. We don't know how they did it, but I do think it was capable. I don't think, humans however many years ago were idiots. I think they were smart people. Obviously they didn't have the technology we have today, but that doesn't mean they're not smart. They just didn't come up with the technology. It doesn't mean there weren't genius, artistic people that could build these things. So when it comes down to it, like I said, I have mixed feelings towards this show just because of the fact that I really like watching it. Again, I really like the history behind it. I love hearing all the facts, the ones that I actually can find, truth in, those kinds of facts. I love hearing about it. I love hearing what people say. But then, like I said, you got the quackpot people who try to keep putting out their theories, and some of them are just way out there. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy. And the fact that also I don't really think aliens have been Earth. But again, who knows? I can't say they haven't. So I do enjoy the series, like I said, once again, mixed feelings towards it, but it is a good series. I know a lot of people are really into this, so I'd recommend checking it out. And again, only $5 at Target, great deal. And the last title I picked up is one I've been wanting to get for a while now, but for whatever reason, I just kept pushing it off, so I finally broke down and bought it, and that was the Blu-ray release of Waterworld. As you can see, this is the Universal 100th Anniversary Edition. Right now, Universal is running a program where they're doing kind of like a game sort of sweepstakes thing, where you put your email address in, you spin a little dial, and it lands on your prize, though 99.9% of the time, it lands on a coupon for $3 off any of these Universal 100th Anniversary Blu-rays or DVDs. I'll put a link down below. You guys can go to that website and save yourself $3. I did. In fact, I ended up printing out a few coupons. So yeah, got $3 off on this. Good deal. I'm actually really glad I waited to buy this, because I've been thinking about picking up the Blu-ray, but at the same time I kind of thought maybe I really want to try to find the 2-disc DVD edition, because the 2-disc DVD edition comes with both the theatrical and the extended cut. Glad I waited, because this comes with both a DVD and a Blu-ray, the Blu-ray being the theatrical cut and the extended cut being on DVD. Awesome deal. So very happy that I actually did wait to pick this up. Haven't seen this movie in many years, so I really look forward to watching it. I know it's just a great cheeseball film. Definitely look forward to checking it out again. Very happy I got this. So that's it for what I bought today. So now it's what I watched. And say I checked out All-Star Superman. Not all that big a fan of this. This was kind of bad. I was not all that impressed. I mean, as far as DC animated movies go, was it the worst? No. But it certainly wasn't the best. It was kind of lame. It's a story, and, you know, spoiler alert here, I guess, although reading synopsis, you can probably already figure this out. Superman dies in this. He gets radiation poisoning from the sun. He's saving people. He flies too close to it. He gets radiation poisoning, and now he's dying from that. And apparently this was all like a big, elaborate plan set up by Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor knew he would get the poison and die. So, a story about Superman dying, okay, cool, I'm down with that. That sounds really interesting. But it was executed so poorly. They kept trying to, Superman would, expose himself to Lois Lane and all the things he would kind of do before he dies, which was great, but it was almost like a bunch of little stories. I mean, it wasn't so much the fact that it was one story and then it faded out and then a new story started. No, it was one continuous story, but it almost felt like you're watching a bunch of little stories within this one big story, and it really ruined it for me. I didn't want to watch a bunch of little stories. I wanted to see, Superman and, his battle with Lex Luthor, which is another thing. It's like, yeah, it's Lex Luthor again. I mean, I guess if Superman's going to die, it should be by the hands of Lex Luthor, but at the same time, I don't know, it's sort of getting old, it's constantly just, oh, look, Superman's going against Lex Luthor again, so, that's getting a little tiresome, I guess. I guess if you're a big Superman fan, you're probably thinking that's how it is, why are you getting tired of that, but I don't know, I've just seen one too many movies and TV episodes of just Superman going up against Lex Luthor and all that jazz, and the way it always pans out almost the same way, except in this case, obviously, like I said, Superman does die. Lex Luthor, he doesn't necessarily become a good guy, but he gets Superman's powers at one point. He figures out how to make like a serum where it's kind of like the essence of Superman. You swallow it, and you get his powers for 24 hours, and in doing that, you kind of see how he could save the world. And he sort of, kind of becomes nice, but not exactly. So basically what I'm trying to say is, for a story about Superman dying, I really wanted more. I wanted a great, gripping story. Instead, I got a very mediocre story that features basically a bunch of little stories within it. I mean, there's so many parts of this that I'm like, wow, that was random. Why did they even tell us that? Or why did I just spend 15 minutes watching this part of the movie? I mean, what the hell does that have to do with the rest of the story? Nothing. They just threw it. Basically, this movie's filled with a bunch of just filler material. That's it. There's a bunch of filler in here. I think they wanted to make it an hour and a half. This isn't even an hour and a half. It's 76 minutes. That's another thing. 76-minute movie. It's not even an hour and a half. It's a little over an hour, and they needed filler. That's kind of sad. You really can't make a really good movie in roughly 70 minutes. Seriously? An hour and 10 minutes? You can't fill that with enough great story, enough great gripping story to make a fantastic movie about Superman battling Lex Luthor and Superman dying. How sad is that? You had to constantly throw in all this filler in here. It's just, I was not a fan of this. Again, I didn't hate it. It wasn't the worst of the DC animated movies, but it just should have been, could have been a hell of a lot more, could have been a lot better. The idea behind the story is great. I love I like the plot. I just don't like how they executed it and how they told the story. It was just not very good at all. So, would I recommend this? No, I can't really say I recommend this story. I mean, if you're a big diehard Superman fan, I guess, yeah, you're probably going to check it out. If you really like the DC animated movies, I mean, if you're a huge fan of those, again, yeah, I guess check it out. But if you're just the average Superman fan, if you're just the average fan of the DC animated movies, stay away. You're going to be disappointed. It wasn't very good at all. I'm just really disappointed. I do like how, though, they do basically tell you that you start thinking in the beginning of the movie that Lois and Superman in the future have a son, because there's talk about a super future man that Superman knows about. And, Lois Lane at one point goes, oh, he looks a lot like my father, and Superman kind of smirks. So you think, oh, okay, they knocked boots and had another kid, and then, that becomes Superman in the future. Ends up being what happened is they can take that serum and apparently implant it into, like, an embryo, plant it into a woman, and they can create a new Superman, and I guess you're led to believe that they do that with Lois Lane. So, again, it's a decent, idea, but it just wasn't executed very well. I would not recommend the movie unless, again, you are a big Superman fan or a DC fan, or you really like DC animated movies. Then I guess if you find it for cheap or you want to rent it, check it out. But otherwise, stay away. Really wasn't that good. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Definitely looking forward to watching Agent Alien Season 1. I've only seen some of those episodes, so looking forward to seeing the entire thing. Also, Waterworld, again, very happy I decided to wait to pick that up because the 100th Anniversary Edition does have both the theatrical and the extended cut. Very cool. Again, if you go to the link down below, the Universal link down below, you can save yourself $3 on any of the Universal 100th Anniversary Blu-rays or DVDs. And watching All-Star Superman, not very good. I can't recommend it. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. But before I go, I want to say one other thing about some coupons. Right now at coupons.com, there's a whole bunch of Fox titles, coupons for Fox titles. They're a bunch of $3 coupons, mostly all for Blu-rays, but a couple DVDs as well. I'll put a link down that below. And that's it. So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya.